everyone, welcome back to the Wentworth CM Club podcast. Today I am here with Lisa Frisbie, who is the Director of Business Development and Marketing for AGC, which is the Associated General Contractors of America. We are going to discuss today what AGC does and how they interact with the construction profession, along with students who aspire to be in the industry. So thank you so much for coming, Lisa. We're so grateful to have you today. We're so excited to discuss the topic of AGC and how they interact with professionals and students. I'm going to turn it over to Adam to kick us off with some questions.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you, Adam?
I'm doing all right. So what does AGC do, and how does the organization interact with the construction profession?
So AGC of Massachusetts is the Boston chapter. We are part of the national organization. Every state has an AGC chapter. AGC of Massachusetts concentrates with general contractors in commercial construction. So we have about 200 members. A good portion of them are GCs. We do have some subcontractor members, and we have what we call supplier members. And those would be folks like insurance companies and law firms that specialize in commercial construction services. So these are all organizational members. So for example, Turner Construction is a member of AGC. So that means every employee at Turner Construction is an AGC member, because Turner Construction has an organizational membership with us. And that also means every employee enjoys the benefits that we offer. So what we do here in Massachusetts is we offer a variety of services and benefits to our members that can include legislative support. So for example, if a certain bill will come into legislation, and if for any reason there is maybe language in there that doesn't really support the commercial construction industry in Boston, our members may take a look at it and go, you know what, this isn't really good for us. We lobby to have those legislative bills either adjusted or changed. So it does work to benefit the industry. We also work in labor relations. We have a director of labor relations on board, and she works directly with the unions and our GCs. They work with contracts and just making sure everybody's happy and things are working to benefit all parties involved in that as well. And then, of course, we offer loads of education and training. So we have a director of safety on board. He offers OSHA training, 10 and 30. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with OSHA, right? At this point, sure. We also offer training and program on opioid awareness. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it's opioid use, unfortunately, is a big problem, not only in the commercial construction industry, but really everywhere. But particularly where we have folks that are doing heavy labor, we find that there is a challenge with trying to help those folks. It's a stigma, and so at AGC last year we had a major stand down. We offer support and services for all of our members that are looking to support their employees that may have addictions or drug use issues. So we offer a lot in safety services. We offer a lean construction program series. You guys are familiar with lean, I'm sure, at this point, a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about it with Rose Conti from Lee Kennedy Company. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Oh, I know her quite well. She's terrific.
Yeah, she's super involved with Wentworth Alumni Relations. I think she just made the board of trustees, and then she directs, special interior projects for Lee Kennedy. Yeah, she's phenomenal.
She is really, really awesome. So and we also offer a construction supervisor license renewal. So it's your CSL. That's something, I don't know if you're also familiar with that, but that's a license that has to be renewed on a regular basis. So at AGC, we offer our members to take those courses as well. But we also offer other different types of technical training programs. So, and what we do is we're very careful about listening to our members and what they need and want, to be successful. So, for example, if there's a program on, or if our members might come to us and say, look, we need more training on lifts, right? Or safety practices in lifts. We'll go ahead and offer that program for our members so they can attend and get all the information and training they need. So our members come to us, tell us, hey, this is the training we need, this is the information we need, and we'll put on those types of programs for them. We also offer informational programs. So, for example, on a monthly basis, we have a program called Conversations With, and we feature an owner or a client, and you guys will become familiar with those folks in the industry. That those are the people that will hire your companies to work for them, and so these owners and clients will come in. And for example, the Mass State College Building Association will come in and they'll talk about their book of work, what's coming up, processes, different things that they look for maybe in an organization or firm that they need to deliver for a particular project. So, so we run those on a regular basis. So things like that. We might have owners panels. We, offer a lot of just informational type of programming, anything and everything you need to know to understand the industry, to even learn more, even above and beyond technical skills, we offer at the AGC as well. So you get a really well-rounded career experience. See, we also have multiple committees. So we have a diversity and inclusion committee. We have a Building Women in Construction committee. We have an HR committee. We have the CLC, which is our under 40 committee. We have a program committee. And what these committees consist of is our members. They volunteer to get involved, to become engaged with the AGC, and they help us to produce all these programs and events that we need to put out, because at the AGC, the office, we're really lean and mean. There's only a few of us in the office. There's like 7 of us. So we couldn't possibly do, all the work that we need to do to get all this information out to our members. So our committee members, they jump in, they advise us, they let us know what they're looking for, what they need, what the industry needs. And then we work with them to get all this information out to them. I think that's, in a nutshell, just about what everything AGC does. I hope I covered it all.
Yeah, you definitely did. Something that kind of intrigued me was, out of the subcontractors who are associated and members of the AGC, my bad. What's the most popular trade they're in? Like electrical, plumbing, HVAC? Is there a certain one that draws more subcontractors into your into the AGC?
So we have a variety of subcontractors. So MAR, are you guys familiar with MAR? They, that's, you see all over the city, the lifts, those mechanical lifts all over the city. They provide those, right? The MAR companies. They're a great AGC member. Off the top of my head, I hope, SNF Concrete. So we have concrete, we have engineers, we have, really, I would say, a strong mixture of subcontractors. So you see a little bit of everything in the AGC membership for sure, as far as subcontractors go.
And the AGC is also hosting a women's event. I'm looking here. It's actually tomorrow, right?
We'll be holding those just about every month. And those are getting great attention. And it's not so much about technical skills or business or book of work. These programs are really about meeting these very successful women in construction and learning about their career path, their educational path, maybe some of the challenge they've faced over their careers. certainly the successes they have experienced as well. So it's more of I guess exactly what it is. It's a casual conversation, right? And we're learning about how these women have really managed their path to success. And we learn a little bit about their personal lives as well, and maybe some of their motivation behind their work and their passion behind their work. So it's a great series, more behind the scenes of some of these great folks that are working in our industry right now. And this series has stemmed from one of our committees. It's the Building Women in Construction Committee. We call it BWIC, and that committee was launched about 5 years ago now. And because, as commercial construction is a male-dominated industry, and the committee wasn't developed to differentiate women, but it was really to support women in the industry, right? Because they are, outnumbered by the men. We don't see as many women as we would like in the industry, and we also want to retain them in the industry. So it's really important for us, for all of our member firms, to provide the support that women need to grow, and to really exceed. If they're looking for executive level positions, to provide really all the tools they need to get there. And that may be education, certain types of education. It may be communications and best practices in communication. It might be learning how to negotiate when you're interviewing for a job. Men and women do that very differently. It's proven that women approach an interview very differently from a man. And we're not asking women to act like men, but again, we're giving them the tools they need to be successful women in the industry. So we have the BWIC Awards every year, which is a really great event. Unfortunately, we can't hold it this year because of the pandemic.
I did go in March, and it was an amazing event.
Wasn't it awesome? Oh my
It's really
gosh.
inspiring hearing their stories and how they built themselves up from childhood to education and onwards to more, promotional jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone starts somewhere. No one starts from a perfect construction background. Like, that's something I wish I knew before I attended. You don't need to come from a construction background or anything.
No, you don't. And a lot of times too, we see, both young men and women, maybe going to school for one thing they really thought they were into. Then once they get hired or work at a firm, they look around and go, oh, I didn't know I could do this, or I didn't know that this was an option. And a lot of times we see, those folks, making that switch or pivoting over to maybe a different role. And I think that's the great thing about commercial construction, especially our member firms here in Boston. They're all very encouraging to really be your best, and they'll do anything to help you, reach your potential. So if many of them, if you go to them and say, hey, look at, I want to learn how to do this. I see this happening, and this is something I really want to learn. They'll support you in that, and they'll help you, and they'll make sure that, that's the path you're going to take if that's what you're really passionate about. So that's a really cool thing in the industry. So there are a lot of great options. If, like you said, wow, there was something I really didn't know, I wish I had known, it's not too late. There's still a lot of ways to go once you get into the industry. So
that's awesome. I didn't realize how diverse and how many different subjects AGC touched on.
mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you, being the director of business development and marketing, you're always interacting with a bunch of different ones. So what's a typical day for you? And how did you end up where you are at AGC?
That's a great question. So I've been in marketing for a really long time. I actually went back to school a little later in life after my kids got older. I went back for marketing and then got my master's in marketing. I had a few different marketing positions, and this position became known to me. And honestly, I looked at it and went, construction, really? Is that what I really want to get into? And, I met with the CEO, Bob Petroselli, who was just a terrific leader. And it clicked. And it was just one of those things. It's like, this looks really, really interesting. And I never looked back. A typical day for me, it's and it's the one thing I love. It's not always the same, right? So I don't come into work and I don't sit behind a computer all day long. The business development side of it is really great because I get to meet everybody in the industry. I get to work with so many great folks. I attend networking events. I attend programs. I'll be in the city. I'll be, in at colleges. I'll be at Wentworth. So it's I never know what my week will bring, and which I love. And I never know who I'm going to meet and who I'm going to make connections with and build relationships with. And I'll tell you right now, some of my greatest friends are the people that I've met here from the AGC. So that's the business development side of it. And then the marketing and communication side is something that I studied for. And that's also something I love. So it's a lot of creating visibility for the AGC, and letting, this exactly is, what I'm doing is letting people know what we do at the AGC, whether it's on social media. We send out a monthly newsletter. It could be, I create videos, I create maybe print collateral. So there's always something different going on. I get to be as creative as I want to be. I love it. So like I said, my day is never the same. It's always busy. And it's honestly the only place I want to be.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like goals to have. Every day is something new and unique, and probably learning something new every day, especially in the construction industry. You're always learning something new every day.
Absolutely. And so I didn't have any construction background. I came from, different types of jobs, and they were all great. They all had learning moments for me. So when I came to the AGC, I was able to take all those experiences and really apply it to the work I do here at the AGC. But again, and I can't stress enough, especially here in Boston, commercial construction, it's a huge industry, but it's a really small community, and everybody knows each other. Like Rose Conti. Yes, I know her. I know, so many people, and that's what I really love about it. It's, it is knowing those folks, and we're all working towards the same goal of having, this great industry in Massachusetts that we can all be proud of, right? We have our beautiful city, we have our beautiful towns out, outside of Boston. And it really is, we're all working together to make that happen. So I love being a part of it.
So for quite some years, the Wentworth CM department has always had a great relationship with the AGC, and also the CM Club really wants to become more involved with the AGC. And just a question out there for all the people listening to see the answer on. Are there any opportunities for construction management students to work with the AGC Massachusetts on future events, or are there any possible volunteer opportunities?
Absolutely. And we would love to see you. So in the past, we've had Wentworth students volunteer for some of our larger events, our Build New England awards night. We've had Wentworth students volunteer. We do a few other larger events. So we're always happy to have students get involved in any way, any capacity they can share. And, Wentworth is an AGC member, so that means all of you students can enjoy the benefits. So anytime we run an AGC program and any of the students at Wentworth want to attend, reach out to me. I will. You don't have to pay. Now is the time to take advantage of that, right? Because everything's virtual. So you don't have to drive anywhere. We know, that can be a challenge if you don't have a vehicle. Yeah,
No,
or
yeah.
transportation, right? Yeah, you're right. Right.
One of the
So
pros of
so
quarantine.
take advantage of that. I mean, look on our calendar. You can go onto our website. You can see all the programs that are running, and just reach out to us and say, hey, is there any chance that I can attend this program? I will register you in a heartbeat. We'd love to have you. Um, and that brings me to the point of, I know we were going to talk about what does AGC, or what does the industry look for in students graduating, right, and coming into the industry. Um, and that, besides your skills and besides your grades, one of the most important aspects we look in a graduating student is that activity, is that engagement, is that interest in those type of events and programs. So, for your resume, if you could put on your resume, I've attended, 10, 15 AGC programs, I guarantee you any firm that you were interviewing with would be totally impressed with that. Because one, it shows initiative, it shows passion, and it shows, that this is something that you really want to do and you understand how the industry works. So it also shows that, you're looking to even further your knowledge, right? You're expanding, you're going kind of out of the box a little bit to expand your knowledge. So um, again, anytime any student wants to attend one of our events, and even when we get back live, we totally encourage it. We'd love to have you.
You guys
I
are
was on a
great.
call earlier with some other people, a different company, and I told them that I was part of the CM club and some of the different things we do, like networking events and things like that. And at the end of the conversation, they were kind of like, "So how do I get in on that?" Because our company wants people like you, and the students that come to these events are the kind of people that they're hoping to hire. So
Yeah,
definitely, for all those listening, definitely come to the CM club events.
awesome. We'd love to hear that. And it's really
Yeah.
important. And networking is really, really important in the industry. Even if you're a PM, or you don't think you don't have a business development role, but guess what? Everybody working for a firm really represents that firm, and technically you are in business development and marketing, because every time you have a conversation with someone or meet with someone, you are promoting your firm, right? So to have those skills in networking, it is really critical, and a lot of firms really look to people that can bring that to the table for them. So it is an important skill to have, and you could start developing that now. You don't have to wait until you get hired somewhere. You could be doing that now for sure.
So I was looking kind of more into the AGC. I'm just finished my first year of school, so I'm, getting familiar with what AGC is, CMA, just all these organizations and what they offer to professionals and students. And one thing in common that a lot of construction organizations offer is scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
And Wentworth, especially the CM department, we appreciate the many scholarship opportunities that CM students earn from the AGCMA, and wanted to ask, what criteria does the AGC look for when selecting these candidates? Is there something about Wentworth students maybe in particular that makes them stand out? And what are some examples of scholarship opportunities that the AGC offers that students can prepare for in 2021?
Absolutely. So we love to give out scholarships. So if you go onto our website, there is a drop-down tab that will tell you about our scholarships, and we have multiple scholarship opportunities. And and I'm just pulling it up right now so I can. So we have the AGC MA scholarship and MCAP online scholarship program, and we have the AGC of America scholarship. So there are multiple opportunities here. We highly encourage you to submit an application for these. We have lots of money and we love giving it away, right? So, but what we look for, and I would imagine a lot of you are experienced in submitting for scholarships. It's not completely new to you, right? So the one thing we do look for very specifically is that you complete the application, right? So you got to go in and really fill out the form entirely. Spend time on it. almost as if it was like a resume, right? You are trying to capture our attention. You are competing with other students. Make yourself stand out. Share information about you that, we wouldn't know. Let us know everything that you're doing. Let us know everything that you're interested in. Let us know everything that you're hoping to do in the industry or bring to the industry, right? So give us all that information. We love to see that. Of course, we're looking for GPAs. That's a given, right? Hopefully you have, you're keeping up your grades. Um, and again, going back to, when you're completing that application, convey your enthusiasm, your intent, your desire, and your passion about the industry, because that is important. We want to give scholarships to students that really, are really excited about, joining the industry and contributing to the industry. So, and then also another key element is those outside extra activities. So when we see you're in the CM club, we love that. Anything else, outside of your school studies, and it, doesn't necessarily have to be construction related, but we do love to see that you are, going outside of your studies and getting involved, maybe taking a lead in maybe another club, or you have other interests. It doesn't all have to be construction related. If you have other, if you're a massive chess player, include that. We want to know what your interests are and what you spend time doing. So I think if you included all of that information, you'd be a great candidate to receive one of our scholarships for sure.
That's great insight, and especially for students who want to get more informed on how scholarships work and how to apply and the ones that are available. That's a great intro. Yeah. I learned new things myself.
Yeah, I mean, we, believe it or not, we have to beg people to, to submit for scholarships.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. We're giving away money.
Yeah.
Take a little time to fill out the application, and you can, and you could possibly, get a couple of $1,000s. How great is that? I wouldn't turn away a couple of $1,000.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the club was talking to some prospective students at an open house, and we're talking about the scholarship opportunities because we post them on social media on behalf of the CM club. And I think on the department, there's a section on the website which has a bunch of links to them, and some students are just shocked that they received them because like literally no one applies.
Right.
That's what we do to encourage the students, and it's always a great feeling when, one of them wins one. And
and as far as, more engagement with AGC, we're always happy if, if the CM club is, posting something or doing something. Obviously, back when we get to normal times, reach out to us, let us know whatever we can do to support any of your activities or efforts. We are more than happy to do that. So, you email me, email Kara Morgan. I think you guys might be familiar with her as well, but any one of us at the AGC really would be more than happy, to get engaged and really offer, any support. I have committee members that would love to come in. We would, if you're looking for a presentation, if, we could bring some of the BWIC committee members in, some of the women in, to speak to you. So all of that is on the table, and you just need to, reach out and let us know that's what you want to do. We'd be really happy to do it.
That sounds terrific. We did have a women's networking event with the club, I would say in February, and that was a hit. It would be super cool to maybe try to do a virtual BWIC event with the CM club. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we would love to. And if any of you, if anyone wants, any Wentworth student CM, you want to get involved in one of our committees as well, you are also more than welcome to do that. And I know, you guys are dealing with time management, you got a lot of studies and all that kind of stuff on your hand. But if it is something that you're interested in, you're more than welcome to join one of our committees as well. So just let us know.
The AGC and Con Expo in the past has been a huge event for the CM club over the last couple of years. Our club advisor, Mike D'Agostino, attended the past several conferences, and I actually went myself with him to Vegas with about 15 other students in March. And the expo was really hugely informative and informational. It was definitely a great opportunity for networking and education, especially with students. I know when we were walking around the show floor, which by the way is bigger than any show I've ever been to, and I've been to like the New York Auto Show. I've been to tons of expos before that are huge, but this was massive. And um, when you talk to these vendors and these different companies and different people at the show, and they see students there and they see young people there, they are really interested in getting to know more about you, more about the school. And some of them are like, hey, do you want to come work for us, before they even know what your name is, which is pretty crazy, but it just goes to show you that, people are really looking to hire students, especially from a school like Wentworth that's routinely ranked top in the nation for construction management. Um, so I was just curious, what could you, I know you said that you went in Vegas, and I don't think we met, but you did see us in Vegas. What experience do you have with the expo? And what is there any conversation about what's going to be happening with the AGC expo in Orlando that was supposed to happen in 2021?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I did attend last year, and actually last year was my first attendance to AGC of America conference. And the reason I'm now attending is I sit on the AGC of America Business Development Steering Committee. So, AGC of America also offers a lot of engagement opportunities as well, especially once you get hired. There are so many things you can get involved with them on a national level. So, you can dip your toes with AGC of Massachusetts first, maybe get involved in a committee. And then once you get acclimated, get more familiar with all the things that we do, there's even more opportunity with AGC of America. But the Con Expo, it is on the calendar. It is on their website right now. It's scheduled for March 29th and the 31st in Orlando. Again, keeping our fingers crossed, right? Depending on how we look for the pandemic. So as of right now, they're moving forward. It's going to be a great expo. I would, anticipate all the great programming that we saw last year. Again, a great expo. And yes, you're right. If as a student you have an opportunity to attend this type of event, absolutely go for it. And it is an opportunity to meet people in the industry that you normally would not be able to. And I will tell you, when you do that, as a student, when you're introducing yourself, to someone from Turner Construction, when you're walking up to them and saying, putting out your hand and shaking their hand, saying, hey, I really want to meet you. I'm a Wentworth student, and here's my interest. I'm telling you right now, they'll want your name and your email address. Because that's what they're looking for. Those are the type of people that we're looking for in the industry that take that initiative. Just the fact that you're at the expo or this particular event is really impressive. Again, you're doing things above and beyond your studies to really round out your experience, right? So so we hope the expo takes place in April. In March. And I'm not sure how close they'll wait to make the final decision. I don't think right now, they may just go virtual, which they did for the last conference. So, and the virtual, I don't know if you've been attending any virtual conferences or if you had a chance to see, but those are pretty great experiences as well. So, Mike may be watching that and seeing if it goes virtual, hopefully. There'll be an opportunity for you guys to at least attend some of the programming and check out, how they run the expo as well. So again, let's all keep an eye on it and hope we all see each other in Orlando this year, because I really want to go.
That's awesome. I know a few years ago, some students from our school went to Orlando, and I'm not sure if they would this time, but I think there's usually a Disney trip snuck in there. So for anyone interested,
the Disney fan on the planet, and that's banking on it. So, yeah, I mean, how great would that be if we can combine that trip and and go to Disney, right?
Yeah, it's 2 for 1. I
Yeah.
was actually I was down in Florida at the end of August, and I went to Disney. It was really nice because the park, I think at the time, was about 50% capacity, and we went, I think, on a Wednesday, and it was like you had the whole place to yourself. For students looking to go, it's definitely some side quests on some of these expos that we go to too. It's not just all work all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I would never, say no, I just go for it, it's total business. Yeah, we have fun. We, have dinners and you get to see some great places. And so yeah, it is a great opportunity to not only get some work done, but to definitely have some fun too. So yeah.
It's a nice place to meet other students too. I know when I was in Vegas, I met some students at one of the AGC networking events from Louisiana. It was really fun to talk to them just about the different way that it's almost like a different way of life, the different like things they do for fun, what kind of events they put on for their school, what they like to do in their free time. It was really fun getting to know them. So that was probably my favorite part of the AGC conference as far as networking and things. Talking to the other students was really fun.
Yeah, and it's great for us as well. So, we get to see our AGC chapters, folks in the different chapters, and same experience. We see that, our maybe committee appreciation events, or we do a sailing tour through Boston Harbor, and they would duck hunt, or right, depending on the culture and what their interests are of their members. So it's a lot of fun. It's really interesting to hear the different things that other chapters are doing. So it's a great opportunity to make those connections as well.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I remember the kids were saying that they have this huge barbecue trailer they built with flat screen TVs on all sides, and they bring it out to the football game for club events. And I was like, man, I would love to do that, but there's not really a place to do that in the city, and Wentworth doesn't really have a football team like that. So definitely a different way of life.
It is. And so our CLC committee, that's the under 40 group, and you guys definitely would be eligible to be joining that committee as soon as you get hired. And they do a lot of charitable work, but they also do some fun stuff. They go to Red Sox games, they have cornhole tournaments, they do fun stuff. So it's about connecting with your peers. You may be competitors in the industry, but you're all working peers, right? And it's awesome. And everybody, again, gets to know each other. You make friends. You learn, different things from each other. Sometimes you're working with each other. Sometimes you're not. So yeah, it's all a part of the commercial construction community. And, you all have a lot to look forward to. And we can't wait to have you. So.
Thank you so much for coming onto the show, Lisa. We really loved having you, and we learned a lot about the correlation of AGCMA with the involvement with professionals, and especially the importance of students. And we all learned something super new today that we can carry on throughout our education and career. So super grateful for that and to have you.
Thank you for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Is there a good email address if anyone listening is curious to reach out?
Absolutely. So again, thank you for having me. I was thrilled to be invited. If anyone for any reason wants to reach out to me, my email is Frisbie, FRISBIE, @agcmath.org. And you can find me, just go to the AGC website, and I'm kind of all over it. All of our contact information is, so you can easily find it there as well.
Great, Lisa. Thanks for coming on the show, and thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you all so much. It was great chatting with you, and good luck with your studies.
Thanks for taking the time to check out our podcast. The Wentworth Construction Management Club is part of Wentworth Institute of Technology, a university in Boston, Massachusetts. We are always looking for new guests. If you are interested in coming on the show, please email us at cmclub@wit.edu. If you are interested in purchasing a 30 or 60-second ad to be broadcast during our show, please email cmclub@wit.edu with your name, contact information, and a description of what you would like to promote. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just search for WIT CM Club. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the CM Club podcast.